Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builders Supply, and this video is to bring you a closer look at the Trimco number 1065-175. This is a pocket door privacy pole used on bedrooms and bathrooms, sliding door or a pocket door where you require privacy. You'll have an emergency release, a coin release out here. You'll have the thumb turn on the interior. You will have the integrated edge pole. And as we turn that thumb turn on the inside, it will throw the hook. This item is being demonstrated in the 613 finish, which is oil rubbed bronze, which means it's a brass base material as well. Residential applications mostly, certainly not handicap compliant at all, even though Trimco can certainly help you with sliding door privacy sets that are handicap compliant. This is going to include its strike plate. This is going to include the screws that are going to be required to get it attached to the door and frame. Two here, here and here, and then two for the strike naturally. There is a link below this video to a document called Installation Instructions, and they're included with your hardware. And let's go over that briefly. It's a very straightforward, and I like the Trimco installation instructions versus others because they're simple and straightforward, the way that they reduce the amount of measuring that you have to think about. And I'll tell you what I mean about that. If your door is not prepped, first of all, I think you'd want to take an audit of all of the doors in the space and make sure that you're locating it at a compatible height. You might have a long hallway, maybe a 100-foot long hallway, and you've got doors going down, obviously not residential, but you want the line of sight to all your lock sets to be equal or to be compatible with each other. Maybe 36-inch off the floor to the center, that's fairly common for residential, but commercial installations would see that well closer to 40-inch, plus or minus. Now, I should say that the 175 in the part number means specifically that this is intended for an 1 3/4 door. And the reason that looks like a yoke kind of is because we've got the screws drawn down here, and because it's 1 3/4, the length of the pin is longer, so I can't really pull that down all the way. The proper way to see this would be to loosen those screws so that these plates stretch out, and that's indeed how you install this after you've notched the edge of the door. It will compression fit over the outside edge and then mechanically screwed to the door itself. So once you've got the height determined, step one really in the installation instructions is to create a 2 1/4 tall by 1 3/4 deep notch. It shows that that notch is squared. I'm going to think that you could probably get away with doing it with a router and not squaring those corners out. And then at that point, step two is to dry fit the hardware on the edge of the door to make sure that everything works well. Step three, once you know that you've got everything working, pre-drill your holes for the screws to hold it on, and then fasten that completely. And the part that I like a lot about their model is that you don't have to measure for the strike. They literally are showing you in step one of the strike installation aspect in the middle of the installation instructions is that you'll notice the height of the edge here from here to here. Well, that strike plate is compatible with that, and just line the two up. You can see that the hole for the strike is not in the center. The short end goes towards the top, and that's to accommodate the hook as it breaches out of the edge and then falls down to be hooked to the bottom lip area of this strike down here, so it'll hook down at the bottom. So simply close the door and mark your position, do your preparation, and I'm going to go over all the dimensional properties in a moment. Drill the hole 15/16 of an inch diameter, 1/2 inch deep. Chisel for the strike thickness, it's quite thin. Pre-drill the holes, always pre-drill the holes for screws, and then attach the strike, and then at that point you're in good shape. Now you might need to reverse the hand of this, and really all that you might need to do in that regard, because the edge preparation, the edge pole, you're going to want to have gravity allow it to come down. You might literally need to flip this over, which means you'll unscrew the 2 screws. You'll pull the bird's mouth. Oh, actually, this isn't a bird's mouth, but the tail pieces will go through a hole in the pin, and you're just going to reverse those plates and then put it back together so that you have the proper, swing of door. This is going to work for what would be called left-hand doors. Okay, you're in front of the door and it would go to the left from the exterior side. So if you have to reverse it, that's easily, it's 2 screws and there's really nothing to fall apart or to break on you. You just have to reassemble it the same way. Now, dimensional properties. Let's start with the strike. Overall height of the strike, looks like it's just light on 2 1/4. Overall width, 1 inch. Thickness of the material, just so that you know what it is. It's probably about maybe 30 thousandths. 0.037, so it's quite thin. The overall height of the pocket door privacy, 2 3/4, and overall width, 2 1/2. Let's see here now. Yeah, so that certainly is compatible with the notch that you're making in the edge of the door. And then at that point, this is available in all the common finishes: your brass, your bronze, your chromes, oil rubbed, obviously. Being Trimco, they can do custom finishes on things. That's part of what their hallmark is. They're a custom manufacturer of many products, in addition to facilitating the delivery to market of far more common items as well. And I'm partial to Trimco, and it's because I'm always impressed with their fit and finish, almost always. It seems to me when I get the product, there seems to be pride that comes through their company to getting it right, so that when you look at it, your initial reaction to the physical condition of the materials, like, wow, that looks really nice. It's just door hardware, but the truth of the matter is it's the exposed part of any door, and it does, I think, matter, at least subconsciously, that it looks very nice. So finally, there's a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all of the Trimco products that we sell, but also a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog. If you have any questions on the Trimco 1065-175, and if you drop the 175, you'll get these for 1 3/8 doors. And really what that means is the pin is simply shorter. The screws are probably the same length. If you have any questions on this or any other Trimco product, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.